All right, welcome back to episode 7 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. I'm Bobby, joined by Melo, and we're going to have Matt and Kyle hop in later on. So it's all four of us. We're all contributing this episode. I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about.
I know we got a lot to talk about. Starting to feel better. I know I probably still sound like shit, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, man, I don't know what it is. I think everyone's sick, and I maybe you got me sick through the
Maybe.
computer. I don't know if that's possible or not, but that's, you know what, I'm going to blame you because
Go right ahead. I've been blamed for a lot of stuff. That's okay.
I'm sniffling away. But like I said, we're gonna have Matt and Kyle on for a couple segments in a little bit. Of course, probably the first topic me and you are gonna talk about. We're gonna dive into Dodgers Padres. Um, Kyle's gonna talk about the Yankees. We're gonna
Again?
talk.
No, I'm
Yes,
just kidding.
because yeah, basically,
Nothing's
Matt's gonna
changed?
absolutely not. Um, Matt's gonna talk about some NL East stuff, and then we're gonna talk about struggling teams other than the Yankees and stuff, and how concerned we are about
Oh,
their starts. But yeah, I
have to
guess
bring everybody down with you. You just can't sink at the bottom by yourself.
no, because I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know how to do
Fair enough.
that. I mean, are we diving right into the Dodgers Padres?
I
I
mean, that
know, I know
was,
you're dying. You're dying to get it out.
listen, it's like, first of all, you
Oh
know,
boy.
these Padre fans, they came in very cocky in this weekend. You know, a lot of Padre fans on Twitter, and I was very active on Twitter over the weekend.
Oh, I
Um,
saw. I saw.
yeah,
You were
a lot
going
of people
crazy.
did. A lot of people saw that. I don't I don't have many bullets on Twitter, so when I get to use them, I use them wisely. And this was one of those occasions. I'm sure you can put the tweet up or something on there,
Yeah,
but
you were replying left and right. You were sending out tweets like I've never seen before.
yeah, it's these Padre fans, like I just said, they came into the weekend very cocky. Remind me, Bobby, did they win the World Series last year?
Um, not. I don't think so. You know what? Not
No,
thinking
they
back to
didn't.
it, I don't think they did.
No, they didn't. And Padre fans really thought they won the World Series last year.
Well, in all fairness, they did. They beat you
Yeah,
guys.
they beat us. That was their World Series. So, they were coming in as the defending world champs apparently, because it was like, you know, Dodgers took two out of three. They were all very interesting games. I saw a lot of Padre fans on Twitter afterwards saying, oh well, yeah, sure, you beat us. We wanted to win this series, but you beat us. But remember, everything's different in the playoffs. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Last time I checked, Padres won one more game after us. And in order to win the World Series, you have to win the wild card round, you have to win the divisional round, you have to win the championship series, and you have to win the World Series. Last time I checked, the Padres only won one game against the Phillies. Well, I don't. Did I miss something? Did they win the World Series last year? It's like it's your team didn't do shit after that, and that's the thing that really bothers me. It's like they're like the Memphis Grizzlies. It's like they talk a big game for not having won anything. At least their fans.
Okay. No, but the thing is though, especially I figured this was going to happen and I would have assumed you did too. Um, after they beat the Dodgers last year in the postseason, after the Dodgers owning the Padres for so long,
Still do.
once the Padres yes, but once the Padres came on came out on top over the Dodgers in the postseason, they're gonna hold that against you until you beat them in the postseason again. I think that's what it is. You know,
Yeah, and that's fine, but
the only way to stop it is for the Dodgers specifically, to knock out the Padres in the postseason again.
mm,
Because if
mm, I,
not, then it's not nothing's gonna
right,
happen.
and I can live with it, but you know, don't flaunt that series win like you won the whole thing because you did it.
Hmm.
It's it you know I mean like I said San Diego doesn't know anything about winning. There's a reason why they've lost like multiple teams in that city. Um, this is nothing new. It's like I'm so proud of the Dodgers. They did what they were supposed to do. They didn't buy into it. They didn't buy into that crap that because we'll get into this, but ESPN tried to do everything they could last night to shove that thing down your throat that it was a rivalry. And Carl Ravitch even had the balls to ask Mookie Betts in the middle of a game, "Hey, dude, you've been on both sides. Which rivalry is better, Red Sox Yankees or Dodgers Padres?" You've got to be fucking kidding me with that question. Are you fucking kidding me? I wanted to blow my head off when I heard that question. Seriously, what kind of stupid question is that?
What did he kind of like avoided the question,
He
right?
kind
Mookie?
of avoided the question, but like I like, dude, it's you know, uh, hopefully the next time I get credentials, I'm gonna find Mookie Betts and I'm gonna ask him that question. Hey, between you and me, well, not really me and the camera, but how stupid was that question? Because I really want to know. He'll never admit it, but that's a stupid question.
Yeah.
And that was probably ESPN, the producer of Sunday Night Baseball, was saying, "Hey, make sure you ask Mookie Betts this question because
Hmm.
everybody wants to know."
Yeah.
No, it's not a rivalry, and I don't know what we have to do. Well, I do know what we have to do, but it it was very annoying over the week, and I'm just happy the Dodgers got the series.
What would make that a rivalry though? Like, what more needs to happen? Bit more
I need
competitive or what?
I need to see these two teams battle it out for the division.
Okay.
And I need to see these teams a couple more times in the playoffs.
Okay.
That's what needs to happen.
So let's say hypothetically, I'm throwing this out there. This season, the Padres and Dodgers are going into the last like end of September, end of the regular season. They're going back and forth, trading spots. They're top of the division, maybe one game back of each other. Um, then they eventually face each other in the postseason again, and it goes 5 games or 7 games, like it goes to the distance. Do you like that would add to it? Do you think that would make it a rivalry after that?
I would need to see another couple more times after that.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
that is a big to me that second time the hype the one he just said
Yeah,
that leads to it. That's a
right,
very
right.
good stepping stone forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting it that brings you a lot closer to it.
Yeah.
Whether the Dodger players want to admit it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah,
But
no.
it's like we beat these guys every time in the regular season. And technically, in terms of postseason matchup, we're tied 1-1 because we beat them in 2020 and they beat us in 2022.
Right.
So maybe it's leading up to another wild card round or a divisional matchup this year, but it's getting closer. But it's not a rivalry compared to Cubs, Cardinals, Giants, Dodgers, Red Sox, Yankees. It's
Right.
like this is not that. It's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I agree with you. I was just wondering what your stance is as a Dodger fan. Um, I mean, we have to talk about it. I know you're gonna get pissed. You didn't get a chance to express how you felt about it, at least on video. I'm not sure if you tweeted about it. The whole Padres graphic of Kershaw after that was game 1, right?
After Friday night's game, yes.
That was crazy. I've never seen a team do that before. Put that up like that. You know? I, let me hear your thoughts.
And this is another reason why the Padres are always going to be, the little brother to us. It's like that's some Bush League shit. Are you joking me right now? Like, can you imagine if the roles were flipped and we did that to say, I don't know, Tony Gwynn,
Yeah.
probably the greatest Padre to ever play for that franchise, and he represents the whole city? That's what they did to us. to Clayton Kershaw, the guy that has been with his organization for many years. He's won a World Series. They picked on the wrong dude. Okay,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
But you're picking on a guy who has a lot more success than your franchise does. And this is why, and I hope that the video will pick it up. This is why San Diego will never get one of these. This is why, and this is the thumbnail for me.
Okay.
This is the thumbnail. This is why San Diego, you will never have one of these. You'll never have one of these, and you'll never have one of these. It's that stupid child shit. You can't be doing that. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's like I think some big account tweeted it, or maybe the tweet blew up. But you would never see the Yankees,
No.
Dodgers, Red Sox, a big successful organization doing that.
You know
Like
why? You
that's
know why?
insane to me. Why?
You know why? Because the Padres have no class. Dodgers do. Yankees do. Cubs do. Red Sox do. Padres don't. They have no class. And they continue to show it over the weekend.
Yeah. That was such a wild move. Like I thought it was fake. I really thought
Uh,
it was fake.
the Padres are stupid, so I saw that. I knew that was real right away.
Yeah. But again, like I don't want to keep on this, but for it to be Kershaw, like it's not like he's ever an asshole to anyone either.
No,
He's a very classy guy, very loved. I don't know. It was a wild move. Like I said,
y-
I really didn't think it was real.
yeah, you picked the wrong dude. It's not just because he has the Cy Young Award, he has the MVP, he has the World Series ring. It's like, dude, other than like a couple times, he's pitched very well against your franchise in
Hmm.
your ballpark. It's just San Diego just trying to get themselves at the big boy table. You're not at the big boy table. I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah.
Go sit at the kids table. You're not with the big boys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bobby, Bobby, me, Kyle, Matt, we all sit at the big table. San Diego doesn't.
I don't know. That was it was insane. But Dodgers ended up taking two out of three. That was
Fucking right.
Yep. They won the next two games after that game. Um Looked like the Dodgers were gonna blow that, or I'm sorry, not blow it. Lose that game three until Mookie came back.
Yeah, and apparently if Buki didn't hit that home run, according to Carl Ravitch, again, we would have got swept.
Yeah, I don't know how that
Seriously?
works.
Yeah, I don't know how that works when you win the night before. Fucking idiot. Come on, man. You're better than that. Watch
Yeah.
the game, do your research.
No, he
You you
usually
he
is.
you but come on, like you can get to the ballpark and maybe tap some guy on the shoulder. Ask one of the beat writers, "Hey, who won yesterday?" Dodgers, great. Okay, the Padres cannot sweep them. Fantastic.
I
All I
don't
needed to
know.
know. Fantastic.
I don't know.
Should
But
know better than that.
yeah. Um,
I wish Michael K was in the booth last night.
do you really?
Yes, I do. I like
Okay.
Michael K.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I do. He gets too much crap.
He does.
But no, I just think it was an off day for Carl Ravitch, and of course it was on Sunday Night Baseball. Like
Can't
everyone was watching.
can't have off days when you're working at ESPN.
I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right.
And Sunday Night Baseball is the one day on that damn channel that they even talk about baseball.
That's
Okay?
true.
And
That's true.
especially when ESPN is trying to push this Dodger Padre rivalry crap.
Yeah,
I'm
you got to
sorry,
be on top
Carl.
of it.
You gotta be on top of it. I'm
Hmm.
sorry.
You know, that's fair. Any final thoughts on Dodgers Padres before we move on?
They got another series this weekend in LA. I said this to Matt last week. I'm gonna say it to you. Tatis, be ready. Because, oh my God, you might be crying after this weekend by the time you leave.
You think he dances in the outfield?
He'll probably do all that stuff, but
I
you're
don't know.
gonna
I
hear
think
it. You're gonna hear
yeah,
it from us.
it might be worse
You're
than
gonna
what.
hear it.
Well, it's definitely going to be worse than what he got in Chicago.
Yeah, because they have no relationship with him. They don't. They just like, all right, cool. The Padres are coming in for their annual 3 games a year. Great, fine.
Yeah,
Let's give it to Tatis. But the Dodgers, a team that you see, well, now with the balanced schedule, you used to see them at least once a month.
right.
You're gonna hear it.
Hmm.
So I gave you a warning in advance. Okay, El Nino. I gave you your warning.
Oh my gosh. All right. Let's bring in Matt now and he'll talk about NL East, Phillies. I'm sure he'll talk about the Phillies, right? He'll
Oh
talk
yeah,
about that.
definitely
He said he
has
wants to
to
talk about the NL East, but we know he's talking about the Phillies.
talk Phillies.
All right. All right. There he is. What's up, Matt?
I just came on to talk a little about my home division here.
Yeah.
Not positive stuff for the most part, but what are you gonna
Right.
do about it?
You gonna touch on the Phillies a little bit too?
I guess I got to a little bit,
Oh, you have to, right?
represent the people. Yeah, represent the people a little bit.
Yeah. So what about the NL East? What are we talking about?
Well, just the fact that the Braves are the only team above 500 in the East, and then you got the reigning National League champs in my Phillies, of course.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then you got Steve Cohen's $1 billion Mets. And well, the Mets are tied with the Marlins for second place, and then the Phillies are at least a game behind the Mets and Marlins as well. Yeah, one game, and then the Nationals, they aren't that far behind either. Like, what time do you start to worry a little bit about the NL East here?
Yeah. I mean, we can do a little preview. We're gonna do a little segment with me and Mello later on, but I could ask you for your NL East teams. Obviously the Phillies and Mets you were just talking about are two surprisingly struggling teams. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you about the Mets and the Phillies? It's separate scales, of course. Mello,
Yeah,
you could answer
yeah.
too.
Um,
I
Mets, I'd give like a 4.
Okay.
They just got Verlander back. They've had some like injury issues with the rotation, and Scherzer hasn't been the same, but I don't know if that's the new Scherzer though. So I'm not too worried about the Mets. Uh Phillies, it's a little different. I mean, we just got Bryce Harper back, but Aaron Nola has not been good this season. Wheeler hasn't been fantastic. Taiwan, you take away his last start, he hasn't had a good start. I've complained to both of you guys about Bailey Falter. He's terrible. Um, Reese Hoskins is out for the year. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, there's some bright spots, but still worry meter. I don't know, probably a 6
Hmm.
because it's also because there's a lot more talent in the division. It's tough
Right.
when like you can't expect to win the division with the Braves and you know already like at 24 wins, and then the Mets. I only have their disappointment out of 4, so that makes it even worse for the Phillies to try and like best case scenario might be third place.
Right. Yeah. Mello, what are you thinking? Mets,
So
Phillies.
so I'm glad you mentioned about the Braves. Let me say this to the Met fans, even if you had everybody healthy, you're not winning this division anyway. So let's start there.
Wow.
You're not winning this division. Let's start there. So I wouldn't panic if you're a Mets fan because, like I just said, you're not winning this division anyways. So all you got to do is get second place and get one of those wild card spots, and then you're good. Um, Phillies, yeah. I mean, Matt, I'm gonna ask you. Are you ready to say that your Phillies are in a World Series hangover right now?
People say that, but like
You
Reese
don't believe it?
Hoskins being out for the year isn't
That's
part of
true.
a hangover.
And Bryce just coming back now too. You
Bryce
know.
just came back. Now, I mean, when you look back at some of their losses, losing by like 8 runs, Bryce Harper's not going to make up 8 runs in a game. Bryce and Reese Hoskins aren't even going to make up 8 runs in a game. Some of that lies on the starting pitching. And when your workhorse, Aaron Nola, he's having a bad season. And he's supposed to be your guy. Wheeler, he's been all right, but he hasn't been, Cy Young Wheeler 2 or 3 years ago. And when you bring in pieces, Taijuan Walker, he's supposed to be good. Not really. Matt Strahm has been decent. Not great, but he's been decent.
He's definitely exceeded
expectations.
I feel like he's exceeded expectations.
Yeah. And with Ranger coming back, Bobby takes a tumble. With Ranger Suarez coming back, I'm thinking Strahm gets bounced to the bullpen. Maybe you should bounce Bailey Falter, in my opinion, but I doubt that'll happen. Yeah. I'm sorry, Bailey. You're catching strays on this podcast, but you deserve
for
it
like
at
3
point.
episodes straight.
Yes.
Okay.
I think bringing Ranger back, he had a great end to the season last year. I think bring him back and get some juice going. Harper's back now. Maybe we get the vibes going up a little bit, but I don't know. Losing 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox wasn't a great start.
No. And after all that you just said, looking at the standings right now, you're still like a game out of second place. Now, the flip side, you're like 2 games out of last place. But the point is that every team, not the Braves, the other 4 teams in the division are all kind of stuck within each other. So it's like all it takes is for the Phillies to have a good week, and let's say the Mets or the Marlins continue to have an average week, you're going to be in second place.
Yeah.
But second place doesn't necessarily even guarantee you a wild card spot because, okay, it helps nothing at all that the Pirates decided to be good this year. Like, you could have slotted the Phillies in easily above the Pirates in the wild card rankings. Now that's just another team ahead of them. The Cubs are decent. I think their record's probably better than the Phillies right now.
They're 500.
They're a game better than
Yeah, so it's close. But the Diamondbacks are good. Padres are going to be above them. Dodgers are going to be above them.
Oh, we know that.
Brewers.
The Brewers, yeah, that's what I was getting to the Central. The Brewers, Cardinals, I don't know what happened there. Sure you guys get to talk about that later.
We'll forget about them.
Not your division.
But yeah, it's nice that I guess they sort of swap positions with the Pirates, but it's tough. The NL, there's some of the top teams, but then there's a lot of congestion for the wild card spots.
Yeah, I don't know. It's and again, it's very early, so it's tough. But
but how long can we say it's very early for?
I was just going to say
it's May
until Memorial Weekend is when you can say it's very early still.
That's been Melo's standard. He has held true to that. So
yes,
you said that last episode, I think.
Yes, I did, and I will continue to say that until Memorial Day weekend.
And then you're gonna push it back. If the Dodgers aren't doing good, then you're gonna.
Oh yeah, then it's like, all right, well, let's push it to let's push it to Father's Day. Then we'll
4th
do
of
that.
July.
Yeah, All-Star break. Let's see what the Dodgers are at the All-Star.
But yeah, I mean, wrapping up the NL East stuff. There's probably looks like no one's catching up to the Braves.
No.
And all you're competing is. It sucks that you have to have the eye on the wild card spot right now in May.
Yeah.
But it just seems like that's the way that the teams have to look at it now. And who knows? Anything could happen. Because last year, that's what happened to the Mets, right? The Mets had a huge lead in the NL East.
It did.
So, I mean, and of course, anything can happen. But...
And then can you bank this year on because listen, Phillies had a magical run of the World Series. It's hard to win your 87 games, 88 games again, and then try to go through that again.
Definitely. Now, it's basically the same team, which is a plus in my opinion now that they're not all playing the same. But like you said, you can't always count on that magical run. But let's set on making the playoffs first. I'd like to not dive into another 10-year streak of not making the playoffs. We're not satisfied with just 1 year now. But it's tough with the Braves in your division, the Mets in your division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
The Braves are the cream of the crop of this division because remember, they have their core locked in for the next 10 years and they're all making league minimum. Yeah. Just because of the way the contracts are set up.
Exactly. I don't know how they always get away with that. But yeah, Matt, anything else?
Not really. I think I got all my feelings out there for the NL East.
You got all your frustrations out. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep. We'll
Sounds
see you
good.
guys.
See ya. All right. Thanks, Matt, for coming in talking about the NL East. But now we're gonna bring in Kyle, like we said before, and he's gonna talk about the Yankees. We're gonna have a great time talking about the Yankees. They're doing great. So I know that Kyle's gonna be very happy to talk about the Yankees. I would assume so anyway.
I would hope so.
All right, let's bring him in. What's up? There he is,
guys?
repping the Yankees and the Heat.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to be happy about one of my teams, all right?
Heat are playing tonight. What's that series? The Heat.
Heat are up 2-1 against the Knicks.
There you go. You got something to root for.
Yeah, I mean, hey, hopefully 3-1 by the end of the night. I got Boston or Philly on my mind at the moment. So
don't do that.
But I'm
yeah,
sorry to tell you this, but unfortunately, we're not going to talk about the Heat anymore, and we're just going to be talking about the Yankees.
That's all right. That's okay. I love my Yankees still, but
okay. At least you still have it. At least you still have the love for the Yankees, I guess, because I'm not sure if I do.
I'll always have the love for that damn franchise that really decides to put me on edge all season long. But yeah, it's that love is sort of becoming it's going down a tier recently.
Yeah. So right now the Yankees sit in last place in the AL East. I think they're still a game over 500. Yeah, they're 18-17 currently as they start the series against the Oakland A's tonight. So, who knows what's going to happen with that.
Might lose that also.
All right. I wasn't going to say it. They just wrapped up a series against the Rays, which they very easily could have won that series. But they didn't. Garrett Cole had his first bad start of the season, which really sucked.
How much of that is on Cole though?
No, I know, but yeah, I don't know. He was bound to not. He was nearly perfect every other start this season. So, but the Yankees are just obviously struggling. Everyone knows that right now. Injuries are a huge problem. Again, same story every year. But their other than Judge, their biggest prize contract this offseason, Carlos Rodon, who is still yet to throw a pitch for the New York Yankees. The report came out yesterday, a couple of days ago, about his back issue is a chronic issue, which I don't even really know what that means, but it just doesn't sound great.
No. I mean, okay, so when that came out, right, I'm thinking to myself, right, so Rodon has had this, history of injuries, and I don't know I'm not entirely sure how much of the back was an issue throughout the years, but to me, is this an actual issue, or is this more of an age thing, right? I mean, as we get older, we're gonna have more pains, just as that's how we just are, So my question is this something that he could be pitching through, or is this something that the Yankees are just being so damn precautious about that, their prized free agent signing this offseason, still has yet to throw a pitch, but they're being careful with him for the, end of the stretch. And Bobby, you know this very well. The Yankees do not give a shit about the regular season. They don't. And especially in recent years, it seems like it's gotten worse and worse. I mean, we saw it last year. They had that historic start, and then they went on an absolute, dumpster fire of a second half of a season. So, I mean, I don't know. It's really tough to see all these injuries, and I feel like this is getting worse than what 2019 was. I mean, it's not fun. I'll tell you that. It's not fun.
No. Melo, as an outside perspective, because obviously me and Kyle are on top of this 24/7, hearing all the news crap and all this. What's your like outside take or I guess like view on the Yankees this early season struggles and everything that's come with it?
I mean, I could be completely dead wrong on this, and you guys please tell me
Okay.
that I'm dead wrong on this. They're just not healthy. Could it just be as simple as that, or am I wrong on that?
It's part of it, but they also the players that are playing should be playing better than they are. Or I would say, right? I would say a big part of it is health, but they are also underperforming. The players
Yeah.
who are healthy.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the players who are on the field right now, you have Bader who just came back. Bader is doing extremely well to come back. It's such a breath of fresh air. But when you look at the guys who are playing, you have Jose Trevino, you have Oswaldo Cabrera, just two guys off the top of my head who are not playing to where they should be, especially Cabrera. Um, this team is, I mean, me personally, yes, the injuries are a huge deal to this team, obviously, but this team has much deeper issues than just injuries. At least that's in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, seeing how the Yankees are throughout the years, obviously watching this team day in and day out, this team is the way it's constructed is not to win a championship. You throw big money at these players, but yet who shows up in October? We've seen this year after year. You can't get over the hump of the Houston Astros in the ALCS, and you constantly decide to like, okay, my biggest issue is the finances, right? You're paying $25 million this year to I'm sorry, it's like 22, 21, whatever it is, to Josh Donaldson, right? The Phillies are paying Bryce Harper 25 million this year. That's one of the biggest issues that I have with this team. And when you look at the like when you are the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Mets, these big market teams, you have the money that other teams do not. Go out and do not trade for an IKF, right? You go out and you get a Trey Turner. You go out and you get a Carlos Correa. Like it's getting to the point where the Yankees are trying to be too cute, and now it's giving them a shit ton of trouble, which is exactly what happened. And I will forever hold it against the Yankees for never going out after Bryce Harper in that offseason. They could have easily afforded it. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like the issues with this team do run deeper than the injuries, but obviously the injuries are a huge deal.
Yeah, no, I agree. We just asked this to Matt about the Phillies and also the Mets. Yankees are obviously in last place right now. What are they? 10 games? 10 games
Yeah.
back of the Rays for first place.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. I'll ask this to both of you, then also give my answer. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your concern of the Yankees' start to the season? Or yeah, like 10 being very, 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 very concerned, or 1 not so concerned.
On a personal level, just because I know how this Yankees team is, I will say 10. But as a realistic level, just because it is early in the season, and like if I was an outsider looking in, I'd say like a 7.
Okay.
Personally. But because I know this team so damn well and I know its history, especially in recent years, I'm at probably a 10. I'd even push at 11. They're that's just me personally.
That's fair. Melo, what are you thinking?
Oh man, I'm at a 7
Okay.
because this is also the big reason why too. The other teams in your division are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like other years where the Yankees are either going to win the division and not be very close.
Right.
So it's like, all right, like we got a couple guys injured, we got a couple guys not playing well. All right, fine. We're still going to win our games, and these other teams, they're not good. So they're rebuilding, they're, trying to build for the future. That ain't happening anymore.
No.
You guys said it from the beginning. You guys said the Rays are going to be good. Baltimore has finally figured it out, and they're starting to win games, which I don't know about you guys, but I personally love to see it from a non-AL East from the outside.
It sucks because I do too, but I just wish they weren't in the AL East, or it didn't affect the Yankees, I should say. If the Yankees were in the Rays position, I would love to see the Orioles succeed, but now it's screwing over the Yankees.
Right, and then Toronto, it's like, all right, well, Toronto, you're supposed to be doing this.
Right.
You've been good for a couple of years now. And then the Red Sox. What the hell is going on with them? They've been 8-2 in their last 10 games. Yoshida is now all of a sudden hitting tanks left and right. If you're the Yankee fan, it's like, what the hell do we have to do? It's like we're hurt. We can't win these games. Our guys are in and out of the lineup. Our starting pitcher hasn't even stepped foot on Yankee Stadium yet, and then the other 4 teams in this division are competing.
Yeah,
it's like the Yankee fan so far in 2023 has not caught a break.
No.
So if you want to do any positive, maybe it's like, all right, we're not getting the breaks now, but we'll get them down the road. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking glass half full for a second here.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that. I would also probably say 6 or 7, and I think it's so high. Just like that was exactly what I was going to say, Melo. None of the other teams in the division look like they're going to slow down. I mean, the Red Sox maybe, but right now they're doing so well. So it's definitely scary that the 18 and 17 is last place in the division. Like that's usually not last place, but
if you were in any other division, that's like second place right now.
Yeah, second, third, but yeah, I don't know. It's definitely very worrisome. Kyle, Judge is supposed to come back tomorrow, Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that helps? Like, I'm sure it'll help, but how much do you think a Judge return helps the Yankees?
Maybe an extra run or 2 per game. That's about it. I don't know. I mean, obviously Judge is the best player on this team and one of the best players in all of baseball. But the problem is one man's not going to do everything. We were having these issues before Judge got injured to begin with. This team is just it's built. It's constructed extremely weird. They're like most of their big contracts came from guys who they wanted to build this power lineup around. And now you realized, oh shit, that doesn't work. So now you're stuck with these guys who you gave this big money to. But yet again, now you're trying to get into a place where you're trying to get more contact hitters on the team, but you don't want to go over this luxury tax, and you're forced to play guys like IKF.
Aaron Hicks.
No, Aaron Hicks. God.
We're not starting with that.
Okay. I'm going to say one thing about that man. I swear to God, if he is not the corresponding move for Judge activated tomorrow, this season's a failure. I'm done. I'm sorry. He needs to go.
Oh.
Yankee fans have a strong, passionate feeling towards Aaron Hicks, Melo. I'm sure you've caught on, but
yeah. He's probably seen it once or twice.
Yeah, I've seen and heard about it.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle, got anything else you need to let out? Any frustrations, any demons inside you about the Yankees you just need to let out before we let you go?
Oh, of course I do, but then I'd be here for another 2 hours. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and yeah.
All right, sounds good. Oh, go.
Well, let's see. Okay, like one last thing. It seems like you guys need a little lift up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and do that right now.
Okay.
You guys did say Aaron Judge is coming back tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, I'm gonna do the Charles Barkley bit here. I guarantee you, he will hit a home run tomorrow. There's your uplift. There's your uplift.
So Tuesday, May 9th, Aaron Judge is gonna hit a home run, according to Mel.
Yes. Okay. In his second at bat.
Wow, he's really going all in.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
We're gonna have to get Vegas in on this, right?
Yes, yeah, everybody.
Sure. All right, we're looking forward to it. Tuesday, second at bat, Aaron Judge goes yard.
Aaron Judge, please save us.
There it is. All right, thanks,
We-
Kyle.
All right, man. I'll see you
See
guys
ya.
later.
See ya.
Later.
All right, thanks, Kyle, for hopping on. Talk about the Yankees for a little bit. I feel like
Kyle
it's the same.
was
Oh well,
no, Kyle was talking Yanks. Can we say
yeah.
that or we'll get sued?
We'll have to ask permission, but
Yeah,
we'll get permission for that. But I feel
I'll
like it's
pay
the
them.
same conversation every week for them. What will you
Yeah,
say?
I'll pay the fee.
All right. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yes.
But moving on, last topic or so here. I wanted to propose this question to you. Throw this out there. Actually, first, before I do that, we talked about a few struggling teams, obviously with Matt and Kyle. Asked you your level of concern with them. I'm going to run through a couple more teams, and then you tell me your concern. We went over the Yankees, Mets, and Phillies. What about the Houston Astros, who are still at 500, which is kind of bizarre to me?
Out of a 10, they're like a 5. They'll be fine.
Yeah,
They'll be fine. I'm just gonna bank on the fact that the Angels are gonna forget where they are in the standings. Like, oh my God, we actually have a chance to win, and then they just start losing. And then they're missing their main guy in the locker room, Jose Altuve,
yeah,
one of the
that is
leaders of
true.
that team. They are missing him. I'm sure maybe the Astros would. I mean, it's hard because he did win a World Series for them and he's been very successful. But the Astros are probably like now it's like Altuve, did you really have to go play in the WBC a couple months ago? But it's like he's done so much for that franchise. It's like you kind of have to let him go. But the point is, I'm not worried with the Astros. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. I know we're saying like I guess it technically is early, and of course you were saying the whole thing about Memorial Day. But the Mariners are also 500. Is there a different level of concern with them? I know they have the same. I don't know if you have the same expectations as the Astros, but
I think there's a little bit to be worried about with them.
yeah, me too.
I thought they were gonna come out of the gates a lot stronger.
Hmm.
And I know they lost Robbie Ray last week, and it sucks.
Yeah,
That's one of the main pieces of your rotation. Yeah, I'm concerned. I'm about a six and
I
a
would
half.
say I would say a 6 with them, and then maybe like I didn't say the Astros, I just realized, but like maybe like a 4 to 5 ish. But
Yeah,
I think it's still something to say that the Astros and Mariners are still in third and fourth in the AL West at this point in the season.
yeah, and
Um,
we thought coming in those were going to be the top 2 teams. It's just a matter of
exactly.
who finishes where.
Right. We're ready to write off that division before it even started.
Right.
We had talked about the Mets.
What,
Um,
what about the A's? What are your? No, I'm just kidding.
I think they're going to turn it around. I'm going to put
Oh,
them at a
definitely.
1.
Yes. No
We
concern.
see a lot of potential with this team, this roster structured great. I think they're going to turn it around. I'm not worried at all.
I agree with that.
What about your little friends over there in the West, the Padres, who are right now 1 game over 500?
Is that all?
Yes.
Um,
I mean, they're not struggling per se, but I would say it's still a little bit underwhelming start for them.
I'm at a 4 with them. I think they'll figure it out. They just got to get Soto going
Exactly.
again. Soto I think, had another rough weekend,
Hmm.
but he's got to get it going.
Machado isn't doing Machado things either, you know.
Tatis, he
Uh,
just got back.
yeah. Um, yeah,
Bogarts has been the most consistent guy out of the 4.
exactly. I'll say a 5-ish around there. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. And then lastly, Matt declared the Chicago White Sox done last episode. Would you declare the St. Louis Cardinals done? Dead, I should say.
I know you guys want me. I know you guys want me to say yes, just because we could do the whole graphic and stuff. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to say they're dead yet.
Okay.
They have 2 Hall of Fame guys at the corner positions. I understand that, listen, it takes more than two guys to be on a winning ball club, but I'm just damn man, that team is so much better than how they're playing. And I think it all went to shit when they sent down Jordan Walker. I think
Yeah.
that's what really flipped it, man.
Hmm.
Why would you take him out and send him back down again? But
What do you think? What's your level of concern with them?
I am at a
I
six. I am at a six with them.
I was even thinking 7 or 8, really.
Wow.
I don't
Yeah, I could
I
see
can't say they're
why.
dead. I'm not
No,
going to
me
say they're
either.
dead, but I'm very concerned. I mean, they're 13 games under 500 right now. That's tough to come back from.
Yeah, and to add on top of it, and this really makes a big difference to me. The Cardinals are in one of the crappiest divisions in the sport, man. And you're still 9 games out of first place.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm at a 6.5. Very
Yeah.
close though. I'm not ready to say they're dead yet, but like I said, Memorial Weekend, then we'll start declaring these teams dead. But I'm not ready for that yet. Very
I
close though.
just I think mine's either I'll say 7.5. Um, but I everything that's gone on with this team so far, this organization, there's so much shit that has happened, and it's already May 8th. The whole thing, I think it was like one of the first couple weeks of the season when their manager Oliver Marmol, I forget, I think I'm butchering his last name, uh, made those public comments about Tyler O'Neill, um, and then the whole Jordan Walker getting sent down, and now the whole Wilson Contreras drama. I don't know.
Yeah,
It just seems like nothing's going right for the Cardinals right now. And right before did you as we're recording, Wilson Contreras got his first hit or got a hit in Wrigley, and the fans were booing him, and then he was waving it on, encouraging it, which was kind of interesting. But that was yeah, I don't know. I'm very concerned about the Cardinals.
yeah, and this is a franchise that has really good history. And they have very rich history, and they're usually on the flip side of all these bad things. They
Yeah.
have very good karma. So maybe this is kind of one of those things like, all right, well, everybody's got to go through it. Now it's your turn, but I'm not ready yet. And I can propose another question to you since just popped in my head. If they keep playing bad like this, could they be sellers at the deadline?
Oh, I don't know.
Do they completely tear it down and start over?
I can't see them doing that. I really can't. I don't know. I think with the point you made about how obviously Arenado and Goldschmidt are huge parts of this team, two Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famers. I don't think they give up this easily.
That's fair.
Um, yeah, I think another big part of this, which I'm just thinking about now, who are they missing? Yadier Molina.
Yeah, that veteran presence in the locker room.
Yeah, and guys have always said he was like a manager for that team. And for him to not be there and be on the field every day, contributing on and off the field, I think that's a huge factor in this.
I agree with you, and I know he's obviously Mr. Cardinal, but you want to throw Albert Pujols in that list too?
Hmm. Yeah.
He's Albert Pujols is the guy that makes you want to come into work every day. And yeah, they're missing that. They're missing veteran leadership on this team. But isn't that what Arenado and Goldschmidt are supposed to be now?
Uh,
Especially Arenado.
yeah, you would think so. You would think so. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a shit show in St. Louis. And it sucks to see because like you said, this franchise is never like this. So I hope they turn it around, but coming back from 13 under 500 at this point. I know it's still early, like we keep saying, but it's concerning.
Yeah, and we've said this already. we keep saying it's early, but there's gonna be a day where it's not early anymore,
Right.
and it's getting late.
Yeah. I don't know. You have any other final thoughts or anything like that?
Um, Not really. I think I've said everything I wanted to say.
You got everything off your chest before.
Yeah,
Yeah. Me too. I think that wraps it up. Um,
good job,
episode.
Dodgers.
Yeah. Yes. And then
Don't
they play again
fall
this
into the
weekend, right?
yeah.
You
They
said?
play again this weekend in LA, and don't fall into their bullshit. Just continue to play their game, and they did.
Don't put
Kinda.
anything up stupid. Don't put anything stupid up on the scoreboard,
No,
Dodger.
come on. Are you kidding me? The Los Angeles Dodgers, one of the marquee franchises in this sport. Are you kidding me? You're a seven-time world champion. You're 26. You're 24-time National League pennant winners. We're gonna do something stupid like that. Are you kidding me?
Never. Never. All right, that wraps it up. Episode 7 in the books. We'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.
Adios.